stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good afternoon. Looks like we got some people. I'm just doing a little bit more sharing. Because usually what I do is I share to the groups and then I text people that I'm live, and I switched it because that makes more sense. I should text the people first that are wanting to listen. So, hi, Ingrid. I know I had another live earlier and I texted, but my phone was not sending texts. It didn't update while I was sleeping, and I slept in, like very, very much in today. And so I reset my phone, and suddenly I had like 5 text messages, and I'm like, oh shit, things did happen today. So I sent it to you, but it failed. So I'm glad we got it worked out. This one shouldn't be too long, so I will not keep you from your dinners. Okay. In fact, we'll go ahead and do introductions now. Welcome to the Daily Trudge, the double Daily Trudge. If you're here, please say hello. All right. Listening for God's plan sometimes can be pretty, I don't want to say hard, but I'm gonna go ahead and use an example, right? And it's understanding fentanyl. And yeah, gosh, it took off real quick, but I'm finding some things out about it. And so I'm going to be shutting it down. Okay. And we have very good reasons for this. Okay. Do I want to keep doing it? Yes, it is helping Trudging Together. But it is re-traumatizing people. And I can't do that. No, I cannot do that. Not only that, but it's kind of inundated, and now it's becoming confusing. And we can't do that. Nope. I cannot do that. Okay. And God has been sending me hints, and I finally got, he's been sending me hints on this for weeks, and I didn't notice. I didn't see it. I didn't want to see it because I wanted it to succeed, and I thought I was going the right way, and I was not. I wasn't. I've made some good friends. So I'm thinking, and it's still up to Andrea too, because this is her project also, but I'm sure that she's going to agree with me. And I get it. I get it. I had talked with my wife about this, and doing that, I'm not in my lane. I'm not in my lane. And I think God wants me to focus more on recovery, raw recovery, and the club. That's what he wants from me. So once again, I'm going to skinny us down for simplicity reasons. Andrea will not be going anywhere. She will be coming on as a guest on raw recovery when we need it at the appropriate times. Right? So we're going to change it. So instead of having guests on understanding fentanyl and re-traumatizing people, we got to make a change. Okay. And that's why it didn't work. There were little hints. The first podcast that we did, it got, for me, 285 downloads. That's pretty good. But it was all on YouTube, which doesn't count to my Podbean, which affects my business. That was the first thing that happened. Second guest only got 8 downloads. That tells me something. Okay. Can I help? Yes, but I have to do it in the recovery sense. That's what I am, right? So what was I trying to do? I was trying to be more than I was instead of focusing on what I really needed to. Okay. Um, Not only that, but poor Andrea, is asking these people. And, after a while, people are going to get tired of it. And she has a good reputation in that. And it's not for me to be able to improve my business or anything else on the backs of other people. No, I won't do it. I won't do it. And God knows that. God knows. So I'm glad that he kind of threw it in my face today. I needed it. I needed to see it. And it sometimes it sucks having to go backwards, but at the same time, I've learned a lesson. I learned a good lesson, you know, and the, and it's not a failure. It had its purpose, okay? But I have found that when it comes to the podcast, it is all about God's plan. I've had some people that are like, I really want to share my story. I'm not sure if I'm ready. They come on and they are correct. They weren't ready. They get like through 2-3 minutes. They're like, I can't do this. I'm like, that's okay. That's okay. This is tough. Very, very tough. And if you're not ready yet, that's okay. Just let me know when you are ready. I'm not going anywhere. Okay. Raw Recovery and the Daily Trudge is not going anywhere. Now there's trudging together. It may always remain small, but that's okay. That's okay. As long as it's doing the right things. And guess what? I don't get to determine those. I mean, I do and I don't because, ooh, oh, what am I doing? I have Zofran. I might have to go. If you guys can give me like 15 seconds, I'm going to grab some Zofran. And then we'll finish up. Ingrid, if you need to make dinner, don't let me interfere. I am back. All right. So, listening for God's plan. And we can all do this. What it requires is an open mind. It requires an open mind. Sometimes I hear people say, when a certain person speaks, I'll like turn them off or go to the bathroom, things like that. And there's people in AA that I don't necessarily, I don't want to say like, because I pretty much like everybody, or I at least try to find likable things in other people. But anyway, when you do that, what you're saying is, God, I'm not open-minded and I'm not going to hear your message. God does say things to me directly quite often. He'll knock on the back of my head. Like today, he had a knock on the back of my head. And he said, Dion, you need to do this. Okay. So the man who raised me, him and his wife, my stepsister, died. And I haven't been a part of the family for years and years and years. So it didn't affect me. And in a way, I felt bad about that. And I created some very tough boundaries. Oh gosh, it's tough, man. Okay. But I don't even want to call it an olive branch or anything because I have no expectation of ever being a part of that family again. Okay. Like when he passes, I'm not going to see anything, which, you know how I feel about money. But it does upset me because the only thing that I really have from my family is a coffee table that's older than me. It's actually how I lost my eyebrow right here. Right here. This eyebrow. This one's just losing its, this other one's just losing its hair. All right. So I sent them an email because hearing from me probably wasn't what they need to hear. And I just sent a nice letter that, you know, I'm sorry that no parent should ever have to bury a child. You know, that I work with people I work with people like that. And if they need me, please let me know. And I didn't put love Dion. I just put Dion. Nice and simple, right? But last weekend, my reaction wasn't like that. My reaction was, you know, my mom had told me that it happened. And later I said, you know, Mom, I don't want you telling me these things anymore. Okay? That's that side of the family. They have no respect for me. So I stay away. But that also means that I don't want you telling me about it because, in a sense, I don't care. And I still feel that way. I don't care. There's no loss. I didn't know this person, even though they were in the family. I've been a part of the family for 20 years. So for me, you know, but just because I think that doesn't mean that God doesn't have a different plan. See, I figured out what really upset me. What upset me was I wasn't worth a phone call. That's what upset me. And that they were telling me this at my grandson's birthday. Okay? And what pops into my head is this: Dion, you're being treated differently again. Boundary time. In my family, if I start to be treated differently, they will find very hard boundaries. I have to have these. Okay? It doesn't mean that I don't care, but I'm not going to get emotionally wrapped up in something, okay? Because that's old behavior for me. That would have been a great excuse to drink. I didn't even know this person. I've met them. I'm pushing it 5 times. Spoken to her maybe twice. She never wanted to talk to me. And she didn't want to talk to me because her roommate, my roommate, was her ex-boyfriend. Okay. And he told me some things, and it doesn't matter. Even then, back then, it didn't matter to me. Okay. People do what they need to do. Period. You know? But you're gonna find that God tends to usually speak through his children. So if you have, hey Gary, I know it's you because that's how you do things. If we don't stop to listen after we've asked our question from God and listen, then we're not going to get our answer. Okay. So we ask direction from God and then we do something. Action. Okay. I made this decision about understanding fentanyl. What did I do next? Action. That's what I'm doing right now. Right. I was able to use something that I went through as a way to come on here and say, this is how we do things. This is how I work my life. Right? And it doesn't need to be crappy and shitty and everything else. Amber finally made it 15 minutes late. I'm just Ingrid, if you need to go make dinner, you do it. Now Marcia's calling me. All right. I love you all. Peace out and have a day.